So after this past week's double eviction on Big Brother season 17, and Shelly and Jackie went home. Usually Thursday night's episode they show who gets the new HOH, but because of having to do a week's worth of Big Brother on one night, they didn't do that. So Shelly went home first, then Jackie went home. Um, then they did the head of household competition. They aired it tonight. Well, Sunday night because now it's Monday morning, but you catch my drift. Okay, so Liz won the HOH, and when Liz won the HOH, she, Julia, Austin were, basically all safe for the week. And maybe Vanessa, but I don't know. Vanessa's getting a little manipulative. So, she won that, and by the end of the episode, she put up Becky and Johnny Mac. Now, they claim that the focus is going to be let's send Becky home, but Johnny Mac was really rubbing Vanessa the wrong way, and she goes and tells the twins, and they're not sure if they can trust her right now because of how intricate she's getting in everybody else's game and how she's starting things to make certain people react in a certain way. So, Johnny Mac is in my mind. I still don't like his voice when he's in the diary room and everything, and it's over the top and rambunctious. But I think Johnny Mac is starting to take a look around, step back, and he's starting to take it all in. And I think he's growing a backbone, and I think we're about to see great things from him. I don't want to see him go home this week. Now, the Power of Veto is on Wednesday night, and I fully expect Johnny Mac to pull himself off because he's like the king of vetoes this season for some reason. If that happens, I think they're gonna put I don't know if it's gonna be James. I'm not sure who they're gonna put up. They may get really mad and backdoor Vanessa, but I don't know if that's the plan. Um, they really just want to get they claim they want to get Becky to go home, but I don't know that that's going to happen. We'll see. But then again, they say, I don't know who's the pawn, I don't know who's the target. We'll see what happens. In my opinion, when you say that, we all know what happens. The pawn usually goes home. So, look forward to see how that goes. I've been watching the live feeds off and on today, and I think last night or earlier today, Jamie was watching it with me, and he finally got to hear Becky talk about her train wreck story. So that had to be terrible to go through something like that. I admire her for, having the guts to talk about it. I don't know if she was told to talk about it because of all the scarring, or if she chose to come out with it and talk about it on national TV, around the house. Maybe it's something cathartic. She just had to get it out because maybe it's one of those things. It happened like almost a year and a half ago. So maybe it's one of those things, and she was living in Germany. Um, my thought process is incomplete. Maybe it's one of those things that she feels uncomfortable, or when you're out and people are looking at you, maybe if they're watching Big Brother, she can just basically tell the story enough to where people will know and they'll stop asking her questions. I don't know. I think she's brave to have made it, and I think she's awesome to be alive to talk about it. I wouldn't want to be in that situation. Now, when I was younger, I was telling this story to Jamie that my family and I lived in we lived in Germany, but this before that we lived in Norway. My dad's dream um station, our dream assignment. We were Air Force. My dad was in the Air Force. He's retired now, and he did over 20 years with the military, so that's a good tenure. And he's now a videographer working for a place you know in town, well, in a neighboring town, and he seems to enjoy it. And my brother works for him too. But this was back in probably 94 93, 94. I was on a field trip with the school, and back in 1994, the Winter Olympics were filmed in Lillehammer, and I was living somewhere around there, and we went and toured the area where the Olympics were going to take place. I'm sorry, my hair is bugging me. And it was fun. It was fun to see it for the first time, and then keep taking trips up there and seeing the same stuff. It was like we could see when they're building the area for all the guests who would come in from out of town to stay and all that. That was, interesting. But then I went up there and probably saw it 2 or 3 times. We saw it as it come along. However, I did not go and see the '94 Winter Olympics live. I watched it on TV. Excuse me. Just like the rest of you did, unless you're fortunate to go there. For some reason, I think that was the same year Tanya Harding and got hit with the metal pipe, and I don't know, that whole debacle. But we were visiting, I believe it was in Hamar, Norway, because it was one of the neighboring towns that hosted some of the events. And the luge or the lube, I don't know how you say it. It's where you get into those things that look like giant sled, and you go down this path. And I don't know if it's the one where you lay down in, or I think it is. Anyways, I was horseplaying. We were, joking around at the top of it, and there was a gravel area. It was like a parking lot or area that was near the top of it. None of us were going down it. We just got to tour the area. Well, I slipped, and I came down hard on my wrist, and I thought I broke it. Granted, it was my non-dominant hand, because I'm a lefty. It was on my right. The school brought us up there in buses, and we came up in 2 buses, and I don't know how many teachers were there. There had to be more than there had to be more than 3 or 4, or there may have been 4 teachers, I don't know, because I had to be taken to the local hospital, and mind you, there was no Air Force base. When we lived there, there was a NATO building, and the building where most everybody worked who was military that was there. And then there was one building next to it that had the BX, I believe, on the bottom and the commissary on the top, or vice versa. And that was it. We lived off the economy, is what they call it, basically off base. And I didn't really speak the language, not fluent enough to know what was going on. So I got taken to a hospital, and I think they did an X-ray. I don't remember. I remember not being able to understand a word anybody was saying, and because this happened, we didn't get to come back until later, which meant that with us being later coming back, they had to send the kids that were supposed to come back. Everybody had to get on one bus, and they had to keep one bus up there for me and this teacher, Miss Bittenbender, and the coach, and I believe he was a science teacher, Mr. O'Neill, because I think Mr. McNeil was the principal, and Mr. Braslow was the assistant principal. But so it was me, I believe it was Miss Bittenbender, Mr. I just said his name, Mr. O'Neill, and the bus driver stayed behind. And coming back, I think it was an hour or 2 drive, and I had most of the bus to myself. I didn't wind up breaking it. I think it was just sprained or something. I really don't know, because I couldn't understand any of it. It's possible that I had a hairline fracture that I didn't really know about, and instead over there they don't cast it, but I don't really know what the verdict was on that, but I know I was in a lot of pain, and I just remember being able to leave. Everybody else had already gone back, and we were late getting back. But Becky was talking about when she was in Germany and had her accident, that you can't understand anybody. If you don't speak fluent language, you don't know what's going on, and if they can't speak English, then you guys have there's a barrier. So I understood what she was talking about there. Granted, I did not get hit by a train. My injuries were different, and I was living in Norway, not Germany, but the same things apply. It's the same breakdown of language, and it's hard when you're military. Well, anybody actually, if you're in a foreign country, even if you speak a few words of their language, it's hard to communicate if they don't understand you. Because if you understand them but they can't understand you, you still have that barrier. It's like a wall between you and them. I urge anybody who has the chance to go overseas to go to a different country or whatever, as long as it's safe to travel there. It's weird, I just heard a funny noise. I encourage you to learn other languages and broaden your horizon. It does a lot for you. I've been back in the States since mid-97, and I wish I could go back overseas. Now after 9/11, I'm scared to fly anywhere over there, although there's lots of people that come and go and everything's fine. And I think 97, 98 was the last time I actually flown. I haven't been on an airplane since. And I have to admit, I'm scared. Would I ever fly again? Maybe. Depends on where I'm going. However, if I had to fly anywhere and I had to go over near Malaysia, that might be a different story, because I'm scared of that area after that plane, that whole accident, and finding a piece of it, and have to make sure it's authentically the piece that you're looking for and everything. I don't know, it still scares me. So I pray for the families involved in that. I pray for anybody that's involved in any tragedy or any illness or anything. I think I just pray for everybody in general, because, we could all do with a little prayer and a little uplifting. Don't have to be serious all the time. Life can be happy, can be funny, but you have to get through the pain to see the light. So, alright, that's my insightful mind. I don't know if I want to do any more videos tonight, because this is the third one, and I want to try to get some more out to you this week. I apologize they're not every day anymore. There's been days where I don't really have much to talk about, so yeah. Actually, I have an idea for one more video, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. It'll be a short one. So, like, fave, share, subscribe. If you're watching my videos through Facebook, will you please go to YouTube and subscribe to my feed, in my channel, because I need to get my viewership numbers up. I know a lot of you guys are watching me through Facebook, and they don't count, but I'm trying to, work up to being able to possibly make some money off of YouTube. I haven't been able to yet. Monetizing my videos, I keeps getting turned down from AdSense, whatever that is. But I think if I can get better content and, more in-depth stuff, and maybe make it a little more interesting, I can get, a little bit, and then maybe I can bring you a little bit more content. So, alright, thank you for your time, and have a good one.